Hello, friends. There we go. Doesn't look like anybody's on yet. That's okay. Oh, it's autism. What's up, sponsor? Blow up my socials. I just posted one video and I'm now posting. Come on. Okay, I think that's... Oh. Okay. I think okay, I don't need to see that. Perfect. Jose, how's it going? Sponsor, how's it going, buddy? All right, I'm going to plug in my phone. I gotta let my food cool down before I start eating it. If I start eating my food, it's because I'm fat, not because I'm inconsiderate. Just wanted you guys to know. Okay. So, how's everybody doing? It's Thursday afternoon. This is a little bit of a surprise. I don't normally post in the middle of the day. Do a live stream in the middle of the day, but you know, want to do something a little different. Want to be there for everybody. Want to try to meet different schedules and stuff. Did you see we had a lot of viewers last night? No, you're good, Ava. I know it's like midterms in high school and there's all kinds of stuff going on. Like you don't have to apologize for coming to for not making it. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna be all mad. There's no point in that. That's a waste of time. It's a waste of my energy and it's a waste of yours. So you just be content, Miss Ava. So hey everybody, looks like we got 17 people watching the stream. If you guys would do me a favor, if this is your first time on one of my streams, if you would hit that thumbs up button, double tap your screen. I don't normally do live streams in the middle of the day, but I just posted a new video. So I do a lot of gun content. I'm a dad. I live in Utah. I'm in the reserves. We talk about a lot of different things here on this channel. But I kind of just had this. I had this thought the other day because there's been, I've gotten, and so have several of the other YouTubers that I follow, and that we're all buddies. There's been a lot of comment on like, hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. You need to be this way. You need to lose weight. You need to make sure you have this type of body armor. You need to make sure you have this type of kit for, you know, personal defense. And I'm not trying to say that all of that advice isn't good advice. There's lots of people that have lots of really good experience out there. What I want to ask, and kind of the question that I pose in my latest video is, why is there always only one person who's right? Did I see your comment on the one I just did? The one I'm kind of talking about now, Og? Because if you left a response, no, I did not read it yet. Which, by the way, also everybody, I'm still doing my giveaway. You have another 2 weeks to go check out. Kayvon Cave on Comedy and Conservative Vibes. Go leave a comment on one of their videos if you really like it. If that's where you are, if you do that, make sure to comment and say, hey, at Below Average Utah Dad sent me your way. He said you were funny. So, sorry, I've got an important email I got to read here. Perfect. I just got a really good thing. My wife says you're a slob. I'm not a snob. I just think everyone should have a Desert Eagle. That's true. Everyone probably should. It's like a revolver or a couple of other different types of firearms. There's certain things that everybody should have if you want to have like a collection. If it's not just about what's practical, if you also want to have a collection, to have the collection and to be like, yeah, this is really cool. It's definitely like to make yourself feel good. It's an ego thing, but it's also kind of fun. Show the shotty. There it is. So I can't touch any of the guns on the stream. I'm not allowed to touch any of them. That's YouTube's policy, but that's okay. So yeah, to kind of go to see, because I'm right, because you're not me. No, those are all excellent answers. But like you guys have seen, many of you have been in my streams before, and you've seen when I talk, people say, what's the best gun for this? What's the best gun for that? What should I do? What should be my first shotgun for home defense? Well, I don't know. How many shotguns have you shot? What's your experience with a shotgun? Have you ever shot a rifle? If you've shot lots of handguns and you're asking me about what's the best shotgun for home defense, I would say, why aren't you just going to get a handgun? If you've shot a lot more handguns and you're more experienced with handguns, it stands to reason that you would be more proficient with a handgun. And I know that there's stipulations. Hey, Fervent, we're just talking about... so I just put out a post. I just put out a short. It's called Different Strokes. And it's kind of a longer short, but it asks the question, why is our community, why is the firearm community, and I've talked about this a lot where I've said the firearm community, the gun community, the tactical community, like I feel like those are all separate communities that fall under the umbrella of the Second Amendment community. I consider myself more of a Second Amendment absolutist. I think all gun laws are unconstitutional. I think that arms are defined as anything that I can pick up and use on my person as a weapon to defend myself, my religion, my family, my rights, things like that. As casual mechanic. So that's me. That's me. You guys have seen I do a lot of comedy, I do a lot of humor, I do a lot of satire. I make fun of the gun culture quite a bit because we all know that a lot of what I do, like it's absolutely representative of some of the stuff. So I agree, Fervent. I should do that. The problem is I live in a part of Utah where doing that is really hard because I live about 2 hours away from like public land where I can go and take watermelons and hams and turkey, like processed turkeys and things like that, and shoot them up and just leave it there. That's a lot of time. That's like 4 hours out of my day just driving. I'm in Davis County. It's like 4 hours out of my day just driving, plus I got to get the ammo, plus I got to get everything, and I either have to pick it up that day to shoot it, or I have to pick it up earlier and then keep it like refrigerated and take care of it. That's not gonna happen right here. If you would like to know my home address, I'm not gonna give out my home address, but I do have a mailing address that's a professional mailing address for another business that I own. that I operate out of a different home. I don't own any lever actions. I have a huge wish list that all of my streamers and all of my subscribers have been helping me, but I do have a mailing address for a business that I can give to you, but you need to reach out to me on my official email if you want that. Kablamo is his 1 year birthday of his original channel. 14.5 thousand subs in 1 year and 18,277,899 billion trillion strikes. Did I get that number right? That's the number Joe Biden gave, right? So, I have 3 ARs behind me, Tig. Got an AR-10, got an AR-15, and I have a 9mm AR pistol. So kind of what I wanted to talk about today was I want the chat to get involved, and I want to get everybody's opinion on this, because I've said in the past, we get lots of people on here and say, I'll never buy a Glock, I'll never buy a PSA, I'll never buy a High Point, I'll never do this. And it's like, is that based upon your personal experience? Is that based upon what other people have said? Because, I've had people tell me that I can't make the videos that I make because I'm being a completely unsafe and I'm going to hurt myself and I, like... No, I agree, Fervent. I'm working on building a schedule for that. It's the end of the school year. There's a lot going on with my kids. Believe me, it's on my list of things to do. I'm lucky if I make it out to the range once a month. No, 100%, Og. I agree with your response there. I agree that that's how people think. I think that's awesome, Casual. I think that's awesome. Which, everybody, go check out Casual Mechanics' channel. Last I checked, he doesn't have a lot of... Doesn't have quite as much content as I have, but he's a good guy. Go check out Casual Mechanic. He's a good guy. So, Tiggs, I rotate what I have. Most of the time, what you see is... Sorry. What you see is what I'm okay with showing you. I have some other pieces that I keep, but I also don't want to show how many guns total I have. Just because I don't think it's important to know how many guns somebody does or doesn't have. No, cool, Fervent. I like it. Don't buy an Ithaca Super 66 shotgun. Okay, so that's sponsor's recommendation. Don't buy that. But okay, so here's a big one. Here's a big one. Why is carrying in a bag that might look like this? Why is that bad versus carrying appendix? Or why is carrying appendix bad versus carrying at the small of your back? Why is carrying with a single holster like this, something like this, a really small holster, or... Oh, my other holster's upstairs. Sorry, guys, I can't show it to you. But why is a minimalist holster like this from... oh, who is this? Now I gotta look it up. Give me a second. I'm gonna give them a shout out. Which, if you want a really good, really nice, minimalist holster. Minimalist holster. Mission First Tactical. That's it. Check out Mission First Tactical. I'm an IT policy writer, fervent. I do cybersecurity, IT. I'm a dad. May or may not be a freelance comedian. Yeah, so this is from Mission First Tactical. It's one of their minimalist holsters. These are really nice if you want something just really small. If you don't want like a really huge holster. Now there's advantages and disadvantages to this. It basically covers the trigger. It doesn't offer anything else really. It's just to be able to put it on, and that's it. This is actually when I have my black bag. You guys have seen my black bag. When I carry my micro, this is actually my favorite holster to carry with my micro, because it's got a really snug clamp. So that's from my last deployment. It's a T-shirt actually. No, so I'm actually going to say something. I'm going to say something about Sig P320s because I made a joke about it in my video. I think at this point I am prepared to say, unless you're going to carry the Sig P320 that's the military version, the M17 or M18 with the physical external safety, I don't actually think you should carry a Sig P320 anymore. I don't. I saw a video from Achilles Heel Tactical, and Johnny Q talked about it, and even Johnny Q, who's he's a lot like me in terms of like he's not going to hate on anything too much unless he really, really has a reason. I think even he even said today in a video, he's like, I think I'm prepared to just say Sig needs to step up what's going on with the P320. I think that it's going to get worse. I actually think things are going to get worse, especially now that you've had someone as prominent as Achilles Heel Tactical. Like, I mean, they're like a 300,000 subscriber channel. Johnny Q is like 2.2 million. I don't think it's going to go well. I think there's even the possibility that it might get pulled from military contracts. I am a veteran. Fervent, I am a veteran. Sup, daddy? That's right, I'm your daddy. Fake Jay Lee. That's right. Thangte, I'm from Utah, which is in America. So, I can fix your dog. I can make it so your dog doesn't feel any more pain at all. I have been in the Air Force, fervent, but I've worked with the Army, the Marines, the Navy, and the Coast Guard with my job, because I do cybersecurity and I do operations and stuff with intel, and I kind of touch all of that stuff. You better have level 4 plates. The ATF can also fix the doggo, except it will cost you more, and it will cost me more because they're paid by the government. I'll do it for free. Because I'm a nice guy. And I care, and I don't like to see animals suffer. So I like to help animals. But there's a really cool veterinarian in Texas. His name's Matt Carricker. You can always take your animal to him. Sorry, guys. I'm really hungry. I have been in several combat locations. Yeah, I heard him say something about maybe going back to doing that. So, but anyways, Why is it so important to be right? And it's a human nature thing. But it's like, it's almost worse in our community. So, dude, it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and my kids aren't with me. I'm only going to eat ice cream if my kids are with me. Come on. Or if I'm TDY. I'm eating a burrito with protein sour cream. I'm eating a protein burrito with protein sour cream. And if you want the recipe, I'll give it to you. Dude, autism, if you can do that, just buy plain Greek yogurt. Buy fat-free plain Greek yogurt. It's got way more protein and fiber, way lower fat, and it tastes like almost exactly the same. In fact, in some countries, when you buy sour cream, it's not really sour cream, it's just Greek yogurt. I'm telling you. This safety belt argument. Mechanic, go ahead. Tell us the safety belt argument. I'm gonna ignore ammo. Did I? No, I didn't. You got me. Actually, this burrito is mostly grilled chicken. It's got a little bit of rice in it, and it's got a cheese sauce that I made with cottage cheese. But yeah, this burrito is probably like my tortilla. I use a low carb tortilla. So it's like 110 calories. It's like 30 grams of fiber, which is really good. That's like twice as much as what most people get in a single day. It's got maybe, I don't know, like a fourth of a cup of rice. And then like a cup of shredded chicken. And then I make a protein sour cream with a little bit of cottage cheese. It's like a third of a cup of cottage cheese and half a cup of Greek yogurt. Huh. Are the myths true that women can't drive properly? I don't necessarily believe that's true. Exactly. Yes, fervent. I've been to Europe. I've been to the South China Sea, and I've been to the Middle East. I actually have when I've had tacos and Mexican food in the Middle East, and that was a little different. It was like with lamb, so it was almost like a gyro, but it was still like with a regular. It wasn't even like a real tortilla. It was like a smaller than a pita or like regular flatbread, but it wasn't quite as thin as a tortilla. It was really interesting. So Fervent. I have been to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar. That's what my orders said. You can interpret that however you want. I don't know what you're talking about, Bush Love. I have a Pez dispenser in my bag. So. I didn't say I was there for very long, sponsor. So, I've been all over Europe. Did they go hunting for that lamp? What lamp? Yeah, there's a Texas Roadhouse in Qatar also. I'm still in the military. Yes. Bush. It's a Pez dispenser, Bush. It's a long-range Pez dispenser. Fervent, where are you from? You ask a lot of questions. Didn't see that one coming. Fervent, where are you from? I got it, mechanic. I got it. Sigs and Benfor. Hi. We talked yesterday. I don't remember talking to you yesterday, bud. You sure it was yesterday and not a while ago? When you were cooking fish. Dude, that was like a week ago. Fervent? That was like a week ago, bud. I knew it wasn't yesterday. Yeah, it was about the LAPD thing. And then I went and cooked fish. Well, I prepped fish. I didn't actually cook it. You're good. You're good. I just couldn't remember. Kanan, what's up? What's your budget, Kanan? Yes, it is. Sponsor. Sub 1,000. Oh, dude, you've got lots of options. You've got lots of options. Are you going to be hunting with it? What are you going to do? Fervent, I'm not going to have a political conversation today. We're going to talk about it. Who was it earlier that was like, don't buy an Ithaca? Hold on. Somebody specifically said earlier, don't buy an Ithaca. I'm trying to find it. I want to make sure that I get it right. Your birthday wish for you. Specifically the Super 66, yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys. Fervent, I want to answer your question, but also I don't want to get into an argument. All right? So, okay, I'll answer your question this way. I think that both Israel and Palestine have the right to exist. And when they start fighting each other, then it's whoever wins. That's what I think. Just like any war. You're going to fight, you're going to pick a fight, or you're going to start a fight. You're just like in real life. Fighting is not something to be sought after or to want to do. And so if you're going to do it, you better be able to bring it. Happy birthday, Nargish. Happy birthday, Nargish Khan. Everyone say happy birthday to Nargish Khan. That was my birthday blower. All right. Fervent. I'm gonna give you the boot. I'm gonna give you the boot if you don't drop it. Is that a field master? No. So, Kanan, that is a Ranger. It's a 1200 or it's a 120. So the 1200 is General Kenobi. What's going on, bud? Which offended short? I don't know which one. There's a lot of them where I offend people or where I say, "Are you offended?" So the police version has the shorter barrel. Kanan. This one has the longer barrel because it's not the police version. So, the police version is the 1200. The longer one is the 120, and it's called the Ranger, if I remember right. And I believe you're correct. I think that the 1200 is called the Fieldmaster. Never had Taco Bell. Probably never will. Do you want to know why Taco Bell gives people such a hard time digestively? Because Taco Bell has fiber in it. And when you're only getting like 10 to 15 grams of fiber a day, when you eat something like a burrito that has beans in it from Taco Bell, and that alone has 10 grams of fiber, most people only get that 10 to 15 grams of fiber across like their entire day. and you're eating it all in one meal. That's why your body goes. There's something about like a grilled stuffed burrito, Kenobi. There's something about a grilled stuffed burrito or a Crunchwrap Supreme that just hits. Sometimes there's a time and a place for Taco Bell. I thought I saw somebody ask if I supported Trump, and I was going to say I voted for him, but I'm going to call him out on his shit when he does something stupid. As anyone should do. My mom does not make very good tacos. My wife makes really good tacos. Autism, is it cool or is it a paperweight? Or both? Saw that one coming. Oh dear Lord. Jay Lee. You man, remember like half my subscribers, for whatever reason, are like little kids from the Philippines and Brazil. Because I guess they like my shorts. I don't know. I think that you and I are probably pretty aligned, sponsor. There was somebody. I thought there was a question about. Well, Kanan. Okay, Nargish Khan. What's my favorite food? My favorite food. I don't really have a favorite food. I am not a super picky person when it comes to food. I've eaten just about every meat that you can legally eat in the United States. I've eaten a lot of different cultures. I've eaten food from a lot of different cultures. Yes. And that I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. So, yeah, I don't know that I have a favorite food, bud. I've eaten tripe. If tripe's done right, it's not bad. Menudo. Menudo is a great example of that. If chitlins are done right, it's pretty good. Dude, I've eaten like whale blubber. Remember, I grew up in Alaska. Yeah, what happened to your J-Dog channel? Like, what? Did you just like get completely locked out of it? Yes, Og is J-Dog, guys. What are you paranoid about? What are you paranoid about? Of all the people in this thread, and of all the people, I'm the one that's on here talking. And I'm the one that's like, I'm in the reserves. I do cybersecurity. I have access to blah, 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 blah. I do things. And you're worried. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. I'm just like... That's funny. That's funny. I give trainings and do stuff on freaking like operational and personal security and like cybersecurity and infosec. Like I'm that guy. I give that training. I give that training, and so it's one of those things like I'm used to. But dude, I could have given you some pointers that weren't like completely nuclear. Okay, I didn't unsubscribe you, man. I didn't block you. I said I asked you to stop asking a question. You asked me a question, I answered it, and then you tried to push it further. So that's where I'm not supportive. I understand if you want to unsubscribe. Fervent. Okay? I understand. You're allowed to be frustrated. That's fine. Nobody do anything. If that makes you feel better, then you can. But the conversation of Israel and Palestine, beyond I think that they both deserve the right to live and exist, and if they're going to fight, whoever is going to then they're going to fight. So, I don't know if he's still around. I don't know if he's going to respond. And that's fine. But you're more than happy to stay in. I'm just not going to have the political side of the conversation about who's committing what and who's doing what, because we would have to evaluate hundreds of years of history, and history tends to be on the side of the people that win. So, but I understand. I understand. Anyways, yeah. Sorry. Thanks, Og, for smokestack. Gun owners should have the same rights and freedoms. So, KN, that is a politically loaded question. Please stop. Smokestack 420. Gun owners should have the same rights and freedoms as everyone else. No. No, I wasn't talking to you, Smokestack. Don't leave. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to somebody else. I would like to know to what you're referring to, though. Do we have more rights or fewer rights? Or do you think other people have more rights than we do as gun owners? Hi, Tyler. How's it going? Are you in midterms? My kids are in midterms. So I assume you're probably in the same thing. Good. Staying out of trouble, I hope. I am definitely not from Canada. I have family from Canada. They don't like that Canada is becoming a not as free place. It's kind of like a fanny pack. This is my Pez dispenser pack. 159. Hey, how's it going, guys? No, I think that you are correct. I think we are put under further scrutiny. I don't necessarily think that being under scrutiny is bad. I know in Canada, you said you're from Canada, then like you guys get put under way more scrutiny than we do. But there are certain states here that are going that way. Dogwoman's from Illinois, and he's basically restricted. Yes, can. Fervent. It does. In fact, it was really weird. It was like 50 degrees today, and it was snowing here in Utah. Grom Daddy, come on, bud. Black and white, yes, there is. It's a 120. So, yeah, in Canada it's a little different, guys. I don't know if you've seen. Like gun ownership in Canada is very, 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 very regulated. I'm tired. Do I want to learn a magic trick? I know a lot of magic. I have a video about a magic trick. I have a magic wand that can cast spells. Ishai. I am... so I own more ARs because AKs are getting more expensive. I like AKs. I think they're fun. Name a footballer for a edit. Messi. It's the first one that comes to mind. Unless you're talking about, like... when I hear footballer, I think of soccer. When I hear football player, I think of, like, American football. That's a fun one, Tired. I've seen that one. He is bored with ARs, enjoys all firearms. No, so I built 3 ARs. I think in a realistic situation, and I don't know what that means, black and white. What does that mean? There's so many connotations that I could take from that. I don't know if it's meant to be offensive or not. Which don't anybody do anything. Just let this play out. I know, Tired. I do know. I know that. That's a very strange thing to say, YouTube live. Glock or Colt? I am a Glock. I like Glocks because I like the versatility and kind of the universality of Glocks. My newest acquisition is my AK, Crawdad. So between AKs and ARs, between AKs and ARs, what I like is I like that AKs are rugged and that you don't really have to treat them super well, and they will basically run forever. Hey, EP. What I like about ARs is that you can kind of rebuild an AR from scratch. Like there are certain parts of an AK that once it's gone, like you basically have to find another AK. You can replace other things with it to a degree. No, not really. Not really. They can jump around, but I mean, even this one with its folding wire stock, like it's not bad. Smoke, I think that's a great question. No, that's a really good question. I actually really like BB guns and CO2 guns because I think it's a good way to learn how to learn basic skills and good fundamentals, so that if you ever go somewhere or you're ever able to own real firearms, you can do so in a responsible way. I think that they serve a great purpose, especially airsoft. I don't own any airsoft because I just dry fire when I practice in my home. But I know that there are a lot of people that do have airsoft and do have BB guns. Regular BB guns, I would say, treat a little bit more closely to a real firearm because they are shooting a projectile that can actually do some permanent damage. But when it comes to like airsoft and stuff, I think that creating those habits and those skills, I think that could be really beneficial to people in the future. That's unfortunate. Hey guys, FV just went live also, so you guys can, if you want to go say hi to him. I feel bad. There was that dude that was on my stream last night that was just like, I don't really like FV. Yes, and airsoft MP40 is going to fire and feel a lot different than a real one. Can't touch the guns, Amir. Can't touch them on a live stream. Sorry, bud. Autism. Og. No, I agree, Smokestack. Airsoft and pellet are completely different. But I think it's good to have that experience. KN, no, I have never shot a Tavor. I have shot an AUG, but I've never shot a Tavor. Oh, yeah, money-wise as well. Yeah. I like, that line starts to get blurred, Kenobi. I mean, I've seen some very expensive airsoft guns. I'm not saying they're going to be, like, it's not going to be the same as, like, a Knight's Armament, but I've seen some very, very expensive airsoft guns. Thank you, Crawdaddy. I like doing what I do. As my gut sticks out underneath my Pez bag. What is going on? Hold on. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of bullpup rifles, except the P90. The P90 I make an exception for. It can be, Kenobi. It can be. I didn't know what you mean by a handle, KN. Do you mean like without a pistol grip? So it looks like that shotgun? What do you mean a handle? Like, I can't remember who makes it. Somebody makes a semi-automatic bullpup shotgun. That's a tactical bullpup shotgun. And it's actually kind of freaking cool. Because it's like that long. And they're kind of, so it's like a tiny little tactical shotgun, but it's, it meets the barrel length requirements to be a rifle. And so you can put like 6 rounds into that thing, plus 1. No, KN, I understand. What's up, nerds? Bara, hi. KN, I know you're talking about the Tavor. What I don't understand is what you mean by handle. Do you mean the top of the gun? Do you mean the pistol grip? Yeah, I'm having trouble understanding what you mean by the handle. Zay ads. Hey, Google. This is kind of Google. Nice. That looks like a different skin of Invincible on your profile pic. What do I think about World War II Russian submachine guns? I think that I think that the Russians are using them right now in Ukraine. Okay, so the Tavor, so it looks like a Tavor, but it doesn't have a pistol grip. So just like that shotgun, if you look at that shotgun, a Tavor that doesn't have a pistol grip probably has a different like kind of hand grip that allows it to function. So, or maybe the pistol grip broke. Who knows? I'm not saying I mean the AK-47 technically is a World War II submachine gun or middle cartridge type gun. So, I obviously don't have a problem with World War II Russian guns. I do not own an SKS. Honestly, my biggest, you want to know my biggest gripe with SKSs and like a Mosin Nagant right now is I think like if I have a choice between an SKS and an AK, I'm going to go with an AK. And no, you're good, nerds. If I have the choice between an SKS and an AK, I'm going to go with an AK because I'm going to choose that over an SKS. So then when I look at the cost of an SKS compared to an AK, and I look at the cost of an SKS and a Mosin compared to an AK, I'm not going to buy a Mosin when I can just go buy a 30-06. And I'm definitely not going to go buy an SKS when I can grab an AK for maybe $100, $150 more. Yeah, 100% nerds. I would choose to be in neither. I've been to war. I don't want to go to war again. No, you're good, Bush. You're good. It's a good question because there's still people that are like, I know people that are still like, oh man, I would love to have an SKS or a Mosin. Like, why don't you just buy an AK? Like, oh, that's too much. You don't need anything like that. And I'm like, an SKS is literally like just a different version of an AK. I would say a less good version of an AK. And a Mosin is a Russian 30-06. That's it. The 7.62 by 54R and 30-06 have similar ballistics to a certain range. Yeah, that sucks, dude. It sucks. Jor, good question. Are you a fan of ambi lowers on ARs? I'm right-handed, but I don't shoot enough. I don't put myself in situations where I would shoot with my left hand enough that I think it matters for me. I think that it's becoming more and more common to have ambidextrous lowers on ARs, and I'm a fan of it as long as it doesn't super increase the price. That's the thing that's nice. The more things become common practice, the more inexpensive those types of features become. So I am a fan in the sense that I'm glad that it's becoming more commonplace and that it's not costing a lot more money. What was his question? I didn't see the question. Nothing even, because I'm not on. I'm watching the stream through one of my other profiles so that it counts as my watch time. What gun would I not use for self-defense? I would not use a Nerf gun for self-defense. Russian rifles and ammo is rough right now. I'm going to be honest, Bush. The Chinese make the Chinese make pretty good rifles. I mean, that's what my AK is. Is it's a Norinco. I would put my Norinco up against anybody else's AK. No. They already supply the National Guard with ammo in the reserves. I think they would open up. I think they would open up and say, does anyone want to become I think they would open up to allowing. But like, to answer that question, Eric, in order for the US to be invaded, there would have to be some very, 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 very like serious changes to geopolitics. Like, the only way that's going to happen and it be effective is if, like, not only everyone else in the world decides that we are no longer to be trusted and need to be wiped out, but we would have to have people on the inside of our country and in our military that sympathize and then start acting against and committing sabotage. I have a gas mask. Bush, this is a Type 56. Well, it was a Type 56, then it was converted into an NHM 90, and I'm converting it back to a Type 56. Yeah, this is my tactical outfit right here. I still didn't see what he asked about experience. I don't know. What's the coolest gun you've held before? An ACR. I like ACRs. An ACR is probably the coolest gun that I've held. Which is funny because now it's that, like an ACR, you can basically buy an ACR. It's called a PSA Jackal now. They're very, very, very similar. Yeah, there's a reason that I have like Yugo handguards on it and a Polish underfolder, because looking for the parts, the actual Chinese parts for a Type 56, it was going to cost almost as much as the rifle did. Solid AK, nerds. Solid AK. Okay. You just message me later. Wait, what? That tool, they found a dude walking around outside with a PKM? Did the police confiscate it for investigative purposes, and then one day show up with a PKM mounted to like a police truck? Because if I saw a dude with a PKM walking down my street, he wouldn't have that PKM anymore. If he was trying to hurt people, if he was being bad, I'm just saying, my arsenal might have a PKM in it in the near future. My dad still has some contacts like in Kabul, and I've told him, I was like, dude, I'm just saying, if there's a way that we could conveniently get a couple of like older Russian AKs or PKMs that have giggle mode on them. If we could find a way to get those here into the States, that would be kind of cool. I'm just saying. Like a trophy. I think that B&Ts are very cool. I just think they're really, really expensive. I don't know that I think they're as cool as their price. Right here I have like 10. Coop, I have like 10 right here. I've got more somewhere else. You should definitely do that, nerds. I just realized I sent a message to somebody. Oh man. When I think about South Africa, I think it's Africa in the south. No, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on in other parts of the world. There's a lot of turmoil going on in other parts of the world. And it's unfortunate because I think there are some catalysts that are related to my country. But without getting too deep into the politics of it, I hope that some of those places can find the resolution that they need in the near future. Unfortunately, when it comes to geopolitics and it comes to things in the world, there's this trend that human beings seem to go through. And every... Thanks, Og. Yes, dog. Yes, I do. I absolutely do. I correct, mechanic. Yeah, so there's this trend with humans, and it's kind of like every 20 to 30 years there is there's this tendency for stuff to just go down, and it's rife with conflict, and it usually doesn't end until there's a lot of bloodshed. Think about it. There was the American Civil War. There were a couple of revolutions in Europe. There was our Revolutionary War. There were revolutions in all throughout history. And it seems to be that every 25 to 30 years there's revolutions or wars that take place all over the world, and they've been going since before the United States. Saturn Ivan. Bro, hi Ivan, thank you. It was Igor. Igor. Remember, my guy's Igor, not Ivan. There's too many Ivans. My guy was Igor. So really, I guess he's more like Lithuanian. I think Igor is more of a Lithuanian name. So, yep. And so, I think Berettas are solid, bud. I think Berettas are solid. With the exception of the plain Sig P320, I am a fan of guns. Like, there are not many guns I'm going to be like, brother, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Sure, Abdul, go for it. What do you want to know? Dog's like, I like any gun, especially the ones I can't get right now. Because I live in Illinois. Which is hilarious. Sorry. Still waiting, Abdul. We're all anxiously awaiting your question about the Civil War. Saturn, if you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check out my... Good night, KN. Saturn, you should definitely go check out my what kind of AK bro, what kind of bro are you, and do you even AK-47? Not really. Kaza, hello. Hello, bud. Not really. The 32 caliber panty gun is the worst. Literally have to hit it to work. Hide it to work? You talking about 32 ACP? Okay, sorry, Ken. I'm sorry that you got hurt. Bye. I don't know. I think under the right circumstances, a 32 isn't bad. I think they make smaller. GSG Firefly, most non-firing pistol. Abdul hasn't asked his question. What's the cheapest AR you would buy? Ooh, good question, DTM. Do you mean pre-built, or do you mean that you can build yourself or assemble yourself? Some people buy, because sometimes you can buy. If you have the capability to build the lower yourself, so you buy the parts kit and build the lower yourself, and then you can assemble the upper with like an armorer's tool. If you know how to do that, you can actually build for about $500. You can build close to like a $700 quality gun. If you're looking to spend $400 to $600, I would say go with like an M&P Sport 3. Do the Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 3 for about $500. I think is what they run, $500 or $600. It's solid. It'll chew through steel ammo, and it's got a good barrel. And then you can put newer parts on it. You can change the hand guards. Keep it simple. That is true, Eric. Yeah, I like arrow precision, but with arrow precision you put in a little more elbow grease. I've actually heard good things about Bear Creek, guys, as far as their ARs. Like, I kind of want to get, I don't know about a Bear Creek AR, but I kind of want to get that that Bear Creek 101, the Glock. I kind of want to try out their little Glock clone because it looks pretty decent. The other thing I've experienced, not that I've experienced, but I've heard people talk about, is that Bear Creek's customer service and policies, like, they're quick and they have good turnaround. So that's a really good thing, even when you're going with maybe a lower cost firearm or manufacturer. When their customer service and their warranty service and things like that, because when something goes wrong that's not your fault, it's nice to be able to get it fixed or replaced quickly and concisely. Oh, why do I have my bag? Because it has my Pez dispenser and my wallet in it. See? It's got my wallet. And my knife. This is a good knife, you guys. If you want to get a good EDC knife, this is the CPM D2 from Benchmade. It's a good knife. KN, because I like to be prepared, and when I leave, like, I don't want to feel unnatural. I don't want to feel unnatural when I carry stuff with me when I'm out and about. No, I just keep it on me. Because I like it to be an extension of my person. I like the way that I just have come to be used to it. Like wearing a shirt or a hat. So the more you do it, then the more natural you'll feel, whether you're at home or not. %. There is always Pez in the Pez dispenser. Yes. I do. Can. I do those kind of things. I prepare. Maybe, and here's something that, again, trying not to be political, but I'm going to dip into the political field. Maybe if the rest of the world was a little more like the United States, where everyone can own a firearm and knows how to use a firearm and can carry it around with them wherever they choose and wherever they want, within reason. If everyone in the world knew that everyone else in the world might have a gun, how often do you think people would consider attacking other people, trying to hurt other people or rob other people or steal from other people or assault other people or rape other people. Just saying. Not saying it's right. I'm not saying that that's good to live that way. But if I knew that everybody on my street had a gun, and everybody in this town knew that everyone on this street had a gun, probably not going to try to break into those houses. But yeah, Eric, I can. The only stipulation is that federally, once you buy and sell a certain number of firearms, you start to run into some legal stuff, and then you have to get a license, which I plan to get by the end of this year anyways. I built mine, Jor. So mine's an Aero Precision 9mm. I paid I think it cost me like $400 or $500 to build. Samrat Singman says Sarji. We're in it says hello Sarji, where from? I'm from Utah. I'm in the United States. That sucks, casual. I would definitely do a video on that. Do a video on that. That would be interesting. I would talk that up. I would tell people to go check that out. Oh, Big Timber's live too. Yeah, Jor, if you are gonna build a PCC, give me just a second. If you reach out to me on my email, I can point you at a really good resource. Come on. Sorry guys, I'm on my website. Later, casual. Later, bud. Allison, welcome. Hello. It is a... I can't remember if it's a Winchester or a Remington, but it's a Model 120. Let me double check. I don't shoot it very often. It is a Winchester 120. Allison. Yeah, Jor, go check out deltateamtactical.com. Yeah, like you can get an upper receiver, a 5-inch AR in 9mm for like 140. Some Simolinas. Normal civilian. Oh my gosh. Normal civilian. Og. I'm gonna have to put you through some tests just like I did last time to make sure you're not some fake person. That one's easy. What was the first thing? Okay, there we go. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I was like, what's something random? What's something random that... I was like, there's got to be something. All right, guys. We've been doing this for almost an hour and a half, and I actually think we have lost all forward momentum of new people. It says we're at 6 watching. I think I'm going to kill it, and then we'll go back in the afternoon or later tonight once we hit the 90-minute mark. I shall. That was a fun conversation. We don't do the afternoon ones very often, so that was kind of fun. Eric, have a wonderful afternoon. We'll probably be on later tonight, so don't forget to like and subscribe, everybody that's still on. Yeah. Okay. There we go. We'll do a close-up of all the stuff. Bum, 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 bum. AK-47. Bye, guys.